Alright everyone, I'm here to make another rant video. Haven't done one in a while, I think it's time. We're going to talk about anger today. But before we talk about anger, we're going to talk about a few other things. Why do I make these videos? The reason I make these videos is I just wanted to share my life experiences with you people. With the people out there on YouTube. Anyone who cares to watch them. Okay? Because I have had what the Chinese would call an interesting life. Okay? There's an ancient Chinese curse that says, may you live in interesting times. And I've had those times in my life. One of these days I'll get into some of them. I've shared some of them with some other videos. I made a video for General Splatton about that. About a hose and a neighbor of mine. Okay? So they'll get out there eventually. But living an interesting life like that, it gives me a perspective that some people don't have. And just ignore that. That's an email. I got a new Android pad. I'm not a fan of Apple products, so I go with Android. And I'm not a fan of Microsoft these days. Windows 8. Okay, you're trying to put a tablet PC on a desktop or a laptop. Not going to work, people. But anyhow, neither here nor there. What I'm saying is this. I've had a lot of life experience and I just want to share it. I'm not targeting any one individual. You know, I don't make these videos with someone in mind. I just was sitting around one day and thought about consequences and choices. I recently got married within the last 6 months. And the choices I make on a day-to-day basis now impact 3 people instead of just me. And that's where that choice video came from. The realization that I have to be a lot more careful in the choices I make as I go through life. Because every single choice I make impacts Nellie and BB and I. Okay? And you can't have a video about choices if you don't talk about the consequences of those choices. And that's where that came from. This one's anger. This one came from Facebook, actually. So you guys will know where this comes from. I was on Facebook one day, just reading wall post, and up came a photo from the Dalai Lama, and I don't know who originally posted it, and I haven't found the exact quote from the Dalai Lama. Ooh, I think this is done. It just needs to be primered one more time. This is a water storage tank for the Mercury 9. And that is done. Made from a cardboard tube. Okay? And here, let me get this. Because I'm working on models while I do this, so you guys can see. Let me get this thing right here. It's not going to want to focus on it because it's white. But you can see it's cardboard on the inside. And you can see I've got that thing pretty much smoothed out. A few imperfections here and there, but not. I see them right there. I'm going to have to hit that spot right there. So I'm going to mark it. I'm using the camera, the incredible zoom on this video camera, to see my imperfections in my sanding job. It's kind of cheating, but I do it all the time. My eyes aren't as good as that camera lens is. But anyhow, I was talking about anger, and I was reading Facebook, and this meme popped up about the Dalai Lama and a quote he has on anger. He basically said, and I don't have the exact words of his quote, but anger destroys. Anger tears apart your life. Anger is a worthless emotion. That's basically what he was saying. Okay? And I'm going to share my experience with that and some things I've done with research and what I've learned. First off, anger is one of the few emotions that comes from another emotion. Okay? And think about it for a minute, and you'll see what I'm talking about. You're walking down the street, someone hits you in the back of the head with a peanut butter jelly sandwich, for instance, and the first thing you're going to feel is offended. You know, someone wronged you, you feel wrong, and then you get angry. Or you've been dating this girl for 3 or 4 years and she just breaks up with you, so you feel sad, then angry. Anger comes from another emotion. Okay? Anger is one of the negative emotions. It is a very negative emotion. Nothing good or positive comes from anger. Absolutely nothing. I'm trying to pull the fiber optics out of the C-130 while we talk. So hopefully we won't have a lesson in anger when I break the wings off this thing. That's not liable to happen, because I'm going to be really careful with it. And I don't mind drilling it out again. But anyhow, nothing positive comes from anger. It's a destroyer. Let's see. I did look up some quotes for Dalai Lama, so I'm going to read off a couple for you. Okay. Anger is the real destroyer of our good human qualities. An enemy with a weapon cannot destroy these qualities, but anger can. Anger is our real enemy. If we live our lives continually motivated by anger and hatred, even our physical health deteriorates. Anger or hatred is like a fisherman's hook. It's very important for us to ensure that we're not caught by it. Okay? We have a saying in Tibet, if you lose your temper and get angry, bite your knuckles. This means if you lose your temper, do not show it to others, rather say to yourself and leave it. Happiness cannot come from hatred or anger. Nobody can say, today I'm happy because this morning I was angry. And that's very true. You're not going to wake up, go to bed angry and wake up in the morning and say, I'm happy because I was angry last night. It's not how it works. You can start your day happy and become angry, but you can't start your day angry and become happy. Not because of that anger. Okay? On the contrary, people feel uneasy and sad and say, today I'm not very happy because I lost my temper this morning. Okay? And this is what he has to say on anger, and a lot of what he says about anger is really good. I mean, it really is. I'm powering this thing off and setting it aside so it doesn't get in the way. Okay? So we need to be aware of anger in our daily lives. In fact, after reading all this about anger, I decided I'm trying to get it out of my life. And I do get angry, but I do what it said in that quote, I bite my knuckles, and I internalize it and I try to throw it out. Because you can't think rationally when you're angry. You do things to other people when you're angry that you wouldn't do on a normal basis. You do mean things to people when you're angry that you wouldn't do normally. Okay? And that's not good to behave that way, and it's not good to everyone around you, and eventually you won't have friends. All you'll have are enemies. And again, this is one of the reasons why I'm trying to remove anger from my life. I don't want it there. I want it gone. I want my life full of happiness, not anger. Okay? Because anger is a killer. I mean, it will just destroy your life. Now, this one's not going to be very long because I could go into examples when I got angry. But all you would get out of that is that things got worse, not better. So my advice to all of you is to sit down whenever you get angry and ask yourself, why am I angry? Is this helping? Okay? If it's not helping the situation, then there's no point to it. And anger rarely helps the situation. Especially when there's conflict. Yelling, screaming, throwing a tantrum, throwing accusations, none of this is going to help a situation. Okay? What you need to do is just sit down, take a deep breath, calmly say to myself, I am not going to be angry. I'm going to sit down, I'm going to talk, I'm going to fix this. Okay? Because no one wants to talk to you when you're angry. All they want to do is get up and leave. Okay? This anger kind of goes with hatred. Alright? There's a lot of haters out there. And hatred, and I hate to say it, but hatred goes political really quick. Anger doesn't. Hatred goes political real quick. Because there's a lot of hatred in politics these days. And a lot of groups are using hatred to motivate you to think certain ways instead of the way you should. That's as far as I'm going to go with politics and hatred. But hatred's not the topic of today's rant. It's anger. Okay? Your personal lives will be much, much better if you can throw the anger out. I can say that from personal experience. And I've got mine down to the point where the only time I ever get angry is when I'm driving and that person has to cut me off. Or the one I really, really, really don't like is I'm driving down the street and someone pulls right in front of me where I have to lock up the brakes to keep from hitting them, and then they're giving me the one finger salute. as I go around them honking the horn. There's absolutely no reason for that. They're trying to spread their anger to someone else, their hatred to someone else. And that's one other thing about hatred and anger that doesn't really come from other emotions. They are contagious. They want to be spread. It's almost like a virus, a flu virus. You get angry and you want other people to be angry with you because it's not right. You're mad. You've been wronged, so everyone else has got to feel that pain. That's another problem with anger. We need to get rid of that, because if we don't get rid of it, we're going to spread it to others and no one's going to be happy. Next thing you know, everyone's going to be like, I don't want to be his friend. He's always horrible. So, getting rid of these things, you'll improve your attitude, you'll improve your friends, and everything will be good. Well, not everything's good. We can't make everything good in life. And that's part of the universe. It just doesn't care. That job's ours. We have to care. And anger doesn't let you care. So, I'm going to sign off right there. I'm going to get to work on the C-130 since I've got pretty much the fiber optics down to the actual body of the plane. I'm going to have to drill new holes for them and try to pull out what's still there, the little stumps of what's there. Yeah, I didn't want to have to redo the fiber optics on this. It's a shame they broke the way they did. I don't know why they got so brittle and just broke. Must be something in the Tamiya paint, the paint I used, that just made them brittle. Because I've never had fiber optics that brittle before. The fiber optics in the base of the Mercury 9 are nowhere near brittle like this. They're very, very good. These are just brittle and they just snap and break. I don't know why. Anyhow, I'll figure it out. That's one thing I am. I'm not stupid. I'm smart. Another good one is positive thinking. Maybe I'll do that one next. Anyone has any ideas for topics, just post them in the comment section. I don't mind comments and ideas and thoughts on this video series. And again, I know some of you are puzzled as to why I'm doing it. I'm just sharing my experience with life. Things I've recognized, things I've seen, things I know that'll make life better for others. You know, learning to control your anger is one of them. Learning to control your hatred is one of them. Okay? And I'm getting really tired of people trying to spread both of them. Okay? A good example, and I'm not going to say names, and this has some political leanings, so I'm taking all that out, is this group offended me. Therefore, I'm going to hate this group. Hate this group, even though they hated me. This is what I mean by hatred. It spreads. Okay? We don't need this in our lives. So, I think I've said enough. You guys want to know more about hatred, go look it up. But it's a strange emotion. I mean, anger. It's a strange emotion. It comes after other emotions. It's the only one that does. Okay? You get angry because you felt another emotion first. Jealousy, now you're angry. Jealous because your wife talked to another man, then you get angry and yell at her later. Okay? Pain, you felt pain, then you get angry. You're depressed, and now you're angry at the person that caused the depression. Like I said, anger comes from other places, and it's a destroyer. It really is. I've worked really hard to keep anger out of my life, and about the only place I get it now is driving. And I'm working on that even more. One of the reasons why I just sold my car and bought a new car is I drove the old car kind of bad because it was fast. Willing to admit that. Didn't get tickets, didn't run anyone off a road, nothing like that. I just would get angry at someone and go scooting off down the road really quick. New car is slower. I don't go scooting off down the road really quick, and I'm learning how to behave myself better because of it. But anyhow, I'm hoping to eliminate all anger from my life. I don't get angry at those close to me anymore. I just stop, take a deep breath, calm myself, ask them to give me a moment while I do that, and then start talking in a nice tone of voice, kind of like I'm doing right now. Want to see an example? I can give you an example. If you're like, dang it! The fiber optics won't come out of this plane! Driving me nuts! Oh, wait a minute. Alright, now let's get the tweezers and just pull them out. And that's what I do. As soon as I start feeling that boiling, I just stop, take a deep breath, calm myself, and then get at it. Okay? And if you can't do that, just walk away and come back to it later. Because it's just not going to help. Alright? The hobby we're in requires a lot of patience, and anger is the destroyer of patience. So, let's just get rid of the anger. Let's make the world a much happier place. Alright, guys. Like I said, give me a comment. Let me know what you think about the rants. Good, bad, the ugly. I can take it. I'm asking for honest opinions. I ask my students all the time for honest opinions, and when they say, quite frankly, you sucked at teaching that, I turn around and work at correcting my teaching problem so that I no longer suck at it. And that's what I'm asking for here. Feedback on the videos. I know I get a few negative dislikes occasionally, but I just chalk that up to general hateful behavior out of some people. There's a couple of people who are professional haters that sign on YouTube channels just to hate. Okay? YouTube's taken measures to correct that. I don't agree with YouTube's measures of forcing everyone to use their real names, although almost every single one of you out there knows my real name. I really don't care about that because I'm not a hater and I'm not spreading anger. Okay? So you guys all have a good one, and I think you'll get this before Christmas, which means there'll be some Christmas videos and other things coming up soon. Yeah, we're going to do a Christmas special. Talking to the wife last night, I think we're going to have a Christmas party. White elephant gifts. I'm an idiot with white elephant gifts. Dollar stores, my friend. Alright guys, I'll talk to you later.